What if I told you one of the most game-changing and powerful creatures in Ark has been around since the early days of Ark, even before Ark was a fully released game? Even now, in 2022, it is still one of the most widely used creatures. When this creature was released, it literally changed the way we play Ark. In order to understand just how broken and game-changing it was, we have to take a step back in time. It's 2016, and Ark's first paid expansion map has just been released. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the Wyvern, one of the most, if not the most powerful flying creature there is to this day, and for three main reasons: strength, utility, and uniqueness. While most tames in this game do excel in at least one category, the Wyvern excelled in all three of these. So first, let's go over the main reason you're probably taming this thing: its strength. Even just looking at stats alone, the Wyvern is definitely a beefy boy, with a higher base HP than even the Quetzal at level 1. On top of that, the Wyvern's base damage sits at a massive 80 damage, even higher than that of a Rex. And that's just its melee attack. We haven't even talked about its main ability. Whether you prefer fire, lightning, or poison, or any of the other variants, its breath attack is truly what gave it an edge over other flyers. You see, in Ark, most battles are decided by stats. For example, a level 10 Rex stands no chance against a level 150 Rex, simply because of the stats alone. However, let's say we take that same level 10 Rex, give it the ability to fly, and then also give it the ability to shoot fireballs. Suddenly, our level 10 Rex now has the strategic advantage over the level 150. And it's this strategic advantage that makes the Wyvern so powerful. You're now able to pick fights that would otherwise be suicide in most cases. A perfect example here would be the Titanosaur. With the exception of a bred Giga, a melee fight with a Titanosaur is a death sentence. However, thanks to the Wyvern's ranged attack, the Wyvern can battle from a safe distance and not worry about taking any damage. And while all Wyvern variants are capable of using this strategy, the Lightning Wyvern tends to be the preferred choice, due to its lightning breath having a decent range and having consistent DPS. But no matter which variant, the Wyvern will be a very strong addition to your roster. Stepping away from power alone, let's take a look at the utility the Wyvern brings. First and most obvious is its speed. In a straight-on sprint battle, the Wyvern outspeeds every single other flyer currently in the game, the only exception being the Tropio when using its jetpack. It's also worth noting that the Crystal Wyvern variants are slightly faster than their bigger cousins. The Wyvern's speed allows it to overwhelm its weaker opponents and flee from an otherwise dangerous situation. Not to mention, their stamina consumption is relatively low, allowing them to cover great distances before having to recover. Another great thing about the Wyvern is its ability to carry large creatures, ranging from a Trike, an Allosaur, even Stegos can be picked up by the Wyvern. And thanks to its speed, this can make gathering runs a lot less time consuming. Going on a metal run, but don't want to spend 20 minutes flying back and forth to your base? No problem. Grab your Wyvern instead of your RG and cut the time in half. Speaking of gathering, the Wyvern is able to gather large amounts of thatch thanks to its Wing Blast ability. While there are better creatures at gathering thatch on land, the Wyvern is definitely the best when it comes to flyers. By specializing your Wyvern in weight, you can gather large amounts of thatch and easily carry it back to your base in a short amount of time. Its Wing Blast attack can also be used defensively, as it can knock back enemies a decent distance. Do note that this ability does not cause any damage. And those are just the main utilities of the Wyvern. There's a lot of other niches and scenarios where the Wyvern becomes very helpful, but it would take me way too long to cover them all. So let's just jump into our last category: its uniqueness. So we've seen how powerful the Wyvern is and just how useful it is in everyday activities, but let's take a step back for a moment and appreciate its aesthetics and the unique way in which this creature is tamed. The Fire Wyvern resembles modern depictions of dragons, such as Smaug from The Lord of the Rings. The Poison Wyvern has frills, similar to a snake or a lizard. And the lightning wyvern looks like something Zeus would have created, and each one of these can come in a variety of different color variants. But I think the most unique thing about the wyvern is the way in which you obtain it. You see, in Ark, most creatures are obtained by either a knockout method or a passive tame method. The wyvern, however, is neither. The only way to get your hands on your very own wyvern was to steal an egg. And this is, by no means, an easy task, as the eggs are nestled deep inside the wyvern's lairs, guarded by aggressive parents that will make quick work of you if you're not careful. And even if you manage to grab an egg, every wyvern in the area will be on your tail, chasing you until you outrun them, or they pry it from your cold, dead hands. But even after you secure your egg, your newborn baby wyvern is quite different than normal raises, as it only accepts wyvern milk, which can only be obtained from, you guessed it, wild wyverns. More specifically, female wild wyverns. And the only way to obtain their milk is by knocking them out, which can be a very difficult task if you're not prepared. It's also worth noting that the milk spoils very quickly and cannot be stored in a refrigerator, meaning that you'll have to make multiple milk runs in a single raise. But if you can manage to overcome all of this, you'll have access to one of the most powerful tames in Ark. And with wyverns finally being able to breed, the sky is the limit. But one question remains. What does the future hold? We've seen just how crazy the wyvern is in Ark 1, so what can we expect in Ark 2? Will it be as broken as it was in Ark 1? Will the wyvern even be in Ark 2? Do you think the wyvern should even be in Ark 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you real soon. You will be mine! Subscribe to my channel, or my dog will eat you!